Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea. For today's video, I'm answering the million-dollar question of which dip powder kit should I buy first? I know it can be so overwhelming when you're starting out because there are so many kits online. So today, I'm gonna show you guys a few different kits in a few different price points so you can make that decision. Thank you so much to today's video sponsor, Azure Beauty. They are also giving us some insider knowledge for Amazon Prime Day deals. So the first kit that I have here is a big one, y'all. This is 42 pieces. You're going to get 32 colors and it comes in at under $40. I really love these kits because you're going to get so much bang for your buck. You're going to get the liquids that you need to get started. You get a nail file, a buffing block, a dusting brush, these super handy recycling trays that you can use for the pour over method, French nails, marble designs, plus we can't forget 32 different colors. There is such a huge variety here that you can do so many different manicures and designs. Next up, we have my personal favorite, the one that I would probably buy myself and suggest to any beginner starting out, which we're gonna call this one the under $20 option. The reason that I really love this kit is because you're getting everything that you need to get started, plus some amazing extra goodies like a matte top coat. You're gonna get the clear dip powder. You get a orange wood stick that you can use to push back your cuticles and to clean up your cuticle area. This kit right here has it all. So as I mentioned, you're going to get all of your regular dip powder liquids plus a matte top coat. You get a nail file and a buffing block. You'll get a orange wood stick. You're gonna get your dusting brush, an extra bonus of swatch sticks, plus 8 different colors, including clear dip powder, which is such a helpful thing to have on hand. Last but certainly not least is our under $10 option. And yes, 10, under $10 is this cute little kit right here. This is the kit that I'm going to show you guys in the video today because I want to show y'all for just 10 bucks, you can do your dip powder nails at home. This little kit is such a great kit to buy when you're starting out because it's not a huge investment. You're gonna see if you even like it. It comes with all of the liquids that you need. You're gonna get this little handy recycling tray that you can use for the pour over method, French nails, glitter. I'm gonna show you how I like to use it later in the video. You're going to get a dusting brush. It comes with 4 different colors, including a really pretty glitter. You also get a nail file and some replacement brushes. To start, you're going to need a cuticle pusher. Ideally, you'll already have one on hand. If not, it may be better for you to grab one on the side or one of the other kits that include it. So we're going to start by pushing back the cuticle. That is not the live skin up here. It's actually what's stuck on the natural nail plate. This is a major cause for lifting, so spend that time during your prep routine to really focus on what is stuck to your natural nail so you don't have any lifting later. All of this would prevent the dip powder from properly adhering to the natural nail. So really spend that time during your prep. Make sure you get everything off of the natural nail. We're just going to do this for each of the nails. Then with a nail file, we're going to use the more gentle side to shape our natural nails. You can also use whatever other nail file you have on hand. You're also going to need a buffing block. This kit does not include a buffing block, but the under $20 kit does if you are in need of one. Or again, you can purchase a buffing block on the side, but we're going to ever so slightly and gently remove the shine from our natural nail. Really focus up around that cuticle area where we just pushed them back so that we don't have anything left on the nail plate. Once we're done with all of the nails, we're going to dust it off. Then with a lint-free wipe and some rubbing alcohol, we're going to really make sure we dehydrate them of any natural oils. You can also use 100% pure acetone as well. Now we're ready to start dipping. So I've got my base liquid, also known as the step 1, and I'm going to start with doing my lightest solid color first, removing the excess product from my brush before I get started. I have both of my hands resting on my desk. I like to start my brush right here, and then I guide that excess liquid back towards my skin. That way I'm not getting this product on my skin, and we want to make sure we get all the way up to those sidewall areas, just avoiding touching the skin, and then get a nice even coat across the entire nail. Then we're going to wipe our brush off before returning it to the bottle to prevent cross-contamination and dip at an angle into the jar. Tapping off the excess, I do see that I have some bare spots, a little bit of patchiness right here. So I'm actually going to dip back into the jar to make sure I have a nice, even, fully coated nail. You're gonna see the difference right here. And then a little hack you can do is use a toothpick to clean up around your cuticle area so that you spend less time filing and shaping later. Be sure to remove that excess product and repeat all of the same steps for each of the nails. We're just gonna keep it really simple today and do a full coat across the entire nail. The base liquid dries pretty quick, so once I'm done with doing all of my first layer of the solid colors, I can go right in to dust it all off. Now it's time for layer number 2. We're going to remove that excess product and do another full coat across the entire nail. Just making sure we get all the way to those sidewall areas, taking our time to get a thin, even coat. Then we need to wipe our brush off again before returning it to the bottle, dipping at an angle in the jar. I'm going to let it sit and absorb for a second. I did notice I had a small spot that's missing a little bit of powder right here, so I'm just going to dip right back into it to make sure I have a nice, beautiful, even, full coverage look. The fun thing with dip powder is you can personalize it to fit your nail length, shape, and lifestyle. So if you experience cracking or chipping, you may need more layers, including an apex. But if you like a more thin, natural look, then you can keep it simple and just do a couple layers. If you're someone who experiences any lumping, bumping, or ridging going on, I want to show you how you can actually use this tray to prevent that. The first thing we got to do is get our liquid under control. So really remove that excess liquid so you have a very thin coat. Then instead of dipping into the powder, I want you to try pouring it over. So pouring the powder over can help reduce that lumping and bumping and ridging that can happen. You can also use this tray for a French manicure. You see that smile line forming right there, and even marble designs. So all you would do is add some color powder on top, give it a swirl, and then lay your nail on top. And all you have to do is just pour it back in the jar and there's no waste. So now we can dust it off and start on the glitter. For the glitter, I'm also going to use this tray, so we're going to pour it out into here, and you're going to notice I really don't have a lot of those big sparkle pieces at the top. All you have to do is tap it on your desk or just tap the side of it, and you'll start to see all of those glitter pieces float to the top. Removing the excess before we get started, we're going to do another thin, even layer across the entire nail, and then we're going to lay our nail flat on top of the powder with more of a selection where we'd like it. Then with my other hand, I'm just going to gently press on those glitter pieces to make sure nothing is standing up and they're all laying flat. Just going to tap that again to get some more sparkle to the surface, and we're going to repeat all of those same steps for our thumb. Once it's dry, we can dust it off, and we're going to repeat all the same steps, just doing a full even coat across the entire nail, laying our nail flat on top of the dip powder. Remember how I keep telling y'all to wipe your brush off? Well, this is why. So you're going to see here when I wipe my brush off, you'll see actual little glitter pieces that I just wiped off of my brush that could have went back into my bottle if I didn't. Azure Beauty's also doing this really fun event during Prime Day where if you spend over $25 with them, you will be entered to win some really fun goodies. So if you have your eye on one of those larger kits, it might be a good time to try it. Alright guys, we are done with the dip powder process, so we're going to pour that glitter back into the jar. At this point, you guys, my personal preference would be to do a third layer with this clear dip powder. That under $20 kit does include clear, this one does not, so it's up to you on which one you want to grab. But I'm going to show you guys this little hack that I've learned on how you can get away with possibly not using clear if you don't have the money for it or if you just don't have it on hand. If you experience cracking and chipping, please remember you should be doing more layers. We're gonna do a layer of the base coat on top, and that's it. We're not gonna dip into anything. I learned this little hack through the community, and what this is going to do is help protect the color when we file, shape, and buff, whether that be the glitter pieces or the solid colors. And you're also gonna see it helps everything sort of smooth out and lay flat. So when you go to file, shape, and buff, this will add a small layer of protection. I still personally am a clear dip powder girly, but if you're in a bind and you just don't have it on hand, this might help. I did leave it for a few minutes. It still stayed tacky, but I went ahead and went on with my activator step and everything worked beautifully. So just add a thin layer of activator to each of the nails and wait 2 minutes for it to dry. You'll know when it's dry when you can hear this clicking sound. I'm going to use the less coarse side of the nail file and just go around my free edge shape to get it back into where I'd like it. If at this step you're unhappy with how your nails are looking and they're kind of thick or lumpy or bumpy, then I would suggest using that same side of the nail file and going across the entire top surface to smooth them out. I won't need to do that because I'm really happy with how they're looking and I don't want to remove too much product. Next, I'm going to use the buffing block that I showed y'all earlier and just to smooth it all out. It's not going to take a whole lot of time, but this step is really going to crispen up the look. Once I'm done and I'm happy with it, I'm going to dust off that excess powder and we're going to go in for a second coat of activator, another full layer across the entire nail and wait 2 minutes. After the time has lapsed, I like to use a dry, lint-free wipe. You can also use a napkin or a paper towel and just really rub it across the surface of the nail to remove any excess activator residue. Then with the top coat, we're going to remove the excess product and do 3 quick strokes. I left this in real time so you can see it's not about being precise or detailed, wiping the brush off before returning it to the bottle, and then we're gonna go in and do the same steps for each of the nails, just removing the excess product and doing 3 quick strokes. Don't worry about it being perfect on the first coat. I promise you it's gonna look great at the end. Once I start to see the top coat look a little bit matte and I can touch it and it's dry, then I'll go in for layer number 2. Layer number 2 is more precise and detailed. You don't have to worry about doing quick strokes. You can really get a nice even coverage across the entire nail and cap off the free edge. Don't forget to keep wiping the brush off every single time before you put it back in the bottle. All right, y'all, you are done with your dip powder manicure. It dries pretty quick, so you won't have to wait very long. But before you walk away, I want you to start to clean up your dip powder liquids. This is going to help with the longevity of them, so I'm just going to use a paper towel to wipe off the top so it doesn't get sealed back up later. I do this with the base coat and the top coat liquids. Hopefully this video helps you understand which dip powder kit might be right for you and your budget, especially if you just want to spend 10 bucks to get started. Definitely check out Azura Beauty's storefront because they're going to have so many products on sale and so you can enter to win their fun giveaway during Prime Day. Thank y'all again for being here and I'll see y'all next week.